I made from some leftover paper in my gigantic paper stash. And I've decided for this project to keep the drawings really small so that each day I could do at least one of these and just tickle the intuition a little bit by just splashing something down. So this picture, the first one, was painted in after it was drawn, but some of the other following pictures will be just drawings, which is where I actually started, and then decided to color some in. These are pencil drawings, graphite, and a drawing with some watercolor on top, and then full-on watercolor as I decided to explore a color range for maybe some other piece of artwork, another stitched piece. And with these books, I started out just doing the one side, but as I continued, I went on the backs of some of them until I felt I had done more than enough of these exercises. And they really are just exercises exploring different materials, combining materials, which is really one of the things I like to do because I think it adds interest. This one has some thread on it. These were just little pieces of cut thread that were laying around on my table, and I added them because they were actually almost the same colors as the paint that I had put down. This one has some white outlining, and it's just an abstract landscape. There's another landscape, and in Gwen Headley's Drawn to Stitch book, she suggested some scraping of the paper as a way to create texture, and this paper scraped very nicely, and I left all the little crumbs on there because they added interest to the sky. This is taken from a picture that I saw, and I adapted the design, but was very inspired by it. Some other very simple and yet organic shapes of rocks and things that I just like to draw and put in some white pastel. I do like white in my drawings. This is an example of a piece pressed through my pasta maker, and it's an intaglio print with just a scribble on a ground that was either a used coffee bag or a Tetra Pak or a shiny surfaced cardboard, and that's the print that came out. And then in my world, I see everything as a landscape, so I like to paint landscapes. I find them really interesting. I look at everything. This is from the top down, an overhead view of what I was calling a neighborhood. This is just looking out my window and a quick watercolor of the clouds and the sunset as it inspired me. The colors were so beautiful. This not nearly as beautiful as the real thing. I found a leaf on one of my walks. I painted that. I have extra gold paint I put here. Some clay pigment that I made from rocks around here. That here being South Carolina. Here are some others. Indigo pigment. Just a branch that was sitting on my table. And then I went on to the backs. This is a SCOBY painting. Oops. Let's see what else. Here's some more backs. Just random shapes that I like to draw. the letter Y in all its forms that remind me of branches. And just another, almost like an overhead neighborhood again. And this was a set of trees outside the window at sunset. And let's see. Yep, that's it on those. But I do have one more little book that I made on some black, very nice construction paper that I found at a thrift shop. And these are tiny little watercolors, just reacting to whatever my mind's eye is telling me and putting color down. And then these are a book I cut up from a big piece of paper that I had been drawing roots on, and now it's become a little root book. So I have this white line that continues and continues, varying weights, and continues.